Good Monday morning, everyone. We are on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange with Jim Cramer to break down today's market action. Jim, we are decisively in positive territory.
Yeah, I mean, this is, again, I talk about this every year. This is the Warren Buffett halo. Buffett's going to say that it's that you should buy, that the market may, if you just put it away. He talked about buying a stock right before the Philippines fell in one of the darkest moments of World War II, and how he made money. So he's saying, listen, even if you bought it the worst time you make money, and this is not the worst time, he sees real value, and obviously he's talked lovingly about Apple, and then Charlie Munger said they wish they'd bought more Apple. Apple is a key stock to this market. Apple breaking out, maybe Apple goes to $1 trillion. I had thought the money should be on Amazon. We don't know. It's a real horse race between those two. I still think, even though Amazon seems behind, in part because I thought it was amazing that Warren Buffett said it's a miracle man Bezos. So yes, I do believe that when you look at this market, it's halo, Buffett, and it usually goes away after a day, but there is a vacuum of news, and if the president has no news on, or is not bashing China, and we got a little bit of news that maybe microchip deal goes through because of MOFCOM, which is the Chinese regulator. I talked about how Qualcomm's get to do a joint venture. These are all signs that the Chinese want a deal. It's a major thing, and yet no one's talking about it. So I understand that I do believe that the halo plus perhaps a breakthrough in China, or at least the president being quiet, has made it so that you have a nice uplift.
Well, just on Apple, you and Warren Buffett have long maintained that this is a razor blade story.
Yeah, I mean, I do feel, I've been waiting for the service stream to break out, and I felt that the service stream would eventually have to break out as you got to a multiple of phones. And I think what people didn't realize is they're trying to figure out whether 61 million or 59 million, and they overlook the fact that when you have, what you're doing is you're accumulating people who will tap into the ecosystem. So now you're at 1.3 billion people who have Apple phones. It was a tipping point issue. And they tried to signal to you over and over again. The tipping point was almost there, and it's now there. And it's obvious that that revenue stream from service will be bigger than what most people thought possible, which makes it so that perhaps at one point, this will always be a technology stock. Apple's just great technology, but you'll have other people commenting about a hybrid model, and the analysts are going to have to stretch their thoughts because that is not necessarily what they're used to examining as a hybrid model.
McDonald's also in focus this morning, being added to Goldman's conviction buy list.
I would have focused on what Jeff Mackey focused on this weekend in our excellent teaching, which is that Easterbrook has re-energized the franchisees, and there's a tremendous belief in in technology and the idea that you can use your cell phone, you order ahead. What happens is that right now, when you get in line behind someone who doesn't understand the technology or they can't speak to each other. Remember, they need artificial intelligence, kind of like you just say, well, I'd like the number 3, and they say, what is that, the 4? That they can't hear very well. They're catching up with Domino's. Remember, Domino's was the one that started with technology, and that's how Domino's stock is at 250. They're catching up technologically wise, and if they do that and they have 2 lines, and you don't have to be in the line where people are speaking, and instead can be in the line where you called ahead, then I think that's going to really help McDonald's and make it so a lot of people want to go through drive-thru.
And you wrote in Real Money last week about McDonald's how some investors said their increase in same-store sales was because of price increases, not traffic.
Yeah, look, I think that international bleeds to domestic, which is something that was said in the note. The stock is not expensive. Jeff, who's one of my, Jeff was one of the founding people who wrote with me, talking about going long McDonald's and short QSR, and who am I to disagree?
Well, and then on Friday on Mad Money, you talked about going long Yum and short Yum China.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that if they're both growing the same, roughly the same, and they have the same PE, and you want to, but you fear China risk, you can go long the non-China and go short the China, and I think you can do very well.
And Jim, I want to highlight your interview on Saturday at your teach-in with Dan Schulman.
Yeah, Dan, I think basically just said, at one point I was asking you about Erica, which is the Bank of America artificial intelligence speak into the machine, and he was saying, look, Alexa, Erica, Veronica, it doesn't matter. And then he made the point, listen, we're going to get rid of credit cards. Credit cards will go away. And that's PayPal's strength. I love the fact that everyone's so focused on how much they'll lose with eBay. He's focused on how much they can gain when they're no longer eBay's partner. The rapid uptake of Venmo versus, say, the system that Bank of America has. And then most importantly, the idea of Venmo being tiered so that to begin to get money in the way PayPal's tiered. So Venmo's going to be monetized. I think this stock is one of the cheapest stocks out there. I know that a lot of people are saying that the eBay thing is going to be bad. I say it's in the stock. The stock is down significantly from when Amazon said that they're going to offer big discounts. Dan correctly, I think, said, wait a second. The retailers, they don't want to use their enemy even if they get a couple of bips back. And I think that's really important because he basically just said, this is one where Amazon cannot be the Death Star because they cannot rely on other retailers to stop PayPal because other retailers do not want to stop PayPal. Other retailers want PayPal, as do Wells Fargo, Bank of America. They're all partners of Visa, all partners of PayPal. So I think that's important. Also, one other thing I talked about was the idea, don't buy the up opening, wait till it comes down at 10:15. There you go. See that? 10:15 to 10:45. And here we are, it's coming in, and that's a better place to buy.
And Jim, we should highlight tonight, you'll be talking to Michelle Moore at Bank of America.
Yeah, look, I happen to think there's room for everybody. So, by the way, so does Dan. Everybody to be in the payments group, there's going to be lots of payments companies. Bank of America has done exceptionally well when it comes to its app. And we're going to celebrate that because I think that it's a remarkable app. And that the company has done a lot of great technology work, which is still brick and mortar. There's still brick and mortar if you want a loan, but it's done remarkable work in terms of the time it takes to do a mortgage online. And I think it's quite exciting.
All right, that's tonight, 6 p.m. Eastern on CNBC. Jim, we'll continue talking about stocks. Everyone, please join us on actionalertsplus.com.